Google had a big conference today giving us more information and details about Stadia, their game streaming platform. And I'm not going to go over any details about it in this video because frankly, I do not care. But what I do care about is this whole idea of the streaming future, that this is how everybody's going to be playing their games. And you know what? Listen, whether I'm right or wrong, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me if I'm right or wrong because I don't know the future. But there's plenty of people who will try to tell you that they do know the future, and they will tell you with 100% certainty that, bro, don't you know? Game streaming, cloud gaming, it's the future. That's how everybody's going to be gaming eventually. And while you may be right that could end up eventually being the future of gaming, I assure you that people like me and many others will no longer be gaming. In fact, we will be so against this, we will voice our opinions and how we will voice it. We will let these companies know we're against this. We don't want this. But eventually, if it takes over, if it is successful, the way these companies and many of these people who seem to be behind cloud gaming, if it's successful the way they make it sound like it's going to be, well, there's really nothing we can do about it. At least that's, again, what they will try to convince you. But for me, no. You know what? I have a voice here. I have a small platform, and it's not really going to matter in the end, probably. But I'm still going to take the time to be against this. Because you know what? Like, I don't care how much Google wants to let me know that, hey, this is good for you. This is good because you spend less money and it's more convenient and it's just easier and it's the future. And why won't you just give us your money? Why? Well, I'll tell you why, Google. I'm not going to give you my money because as somebody who's been gaming for a while now, I will never, ever, I will literally quit gaming before I ever decide that I'm going to play my games by streaming them. It's just never going to happen. And I am just so fed up and tired with these people, these companies, trying to convince us that this is the future and we are going to march towards it whether anybody likes it or not. Because you know what? We look at movies, we look at music, and this is what they did, right? So surely it's going to work for us. Well, you know what? I don't care about movies. I don't care about the movie industry. I don't care about the music industry the same way I care about the gaming industry. Okay, so things are done very differently as far as I know when it comes to movies and their production and everything else that goes behind them. Things are done very differently in the music industry. Video games are very different. I actually respect video games and I respect the art behind them. And I also respect the idea of having consumer rights, like, you know, actually owning something if you want to own it. Now, the idea of this cloud gaming future, of course, nobody's sitting here saying, oh, it's going to be the only way you can play games. Of course, that's not going to happen anytime soon. But if Google had their way, of course, that's exactly what it would be. Why do you think they're not making any hardware right now? Why do you think they're not making a console or anything? Because that's just how they want it to be. They're so convinced that this is the future. This is how 99% of people are going to be playing their games. Well, let me tell you, if that's how 99% of people are going to be playing their games, I will still be that 1% that will pay $1,500, $2,000, however much I got to pay to get a console, because they're just that hard to find, or you know, only a select few companies are still making them, and the prices are absurd because only a select few people buy them. That's how I'm going to play my games. It really is. Because you know what? I don't want to hear it, man. And I'm not going to accept it. I'm not going to accept it. I'm going to go against it. I'm going to tell people, listen, if you are okay with cloud gaming, then you need to reevaluate things, okay? Because you need to understand that you're willing to give something up that you should really care about just for the sake of convenience. And that's what bothers me the most. And it really just comes down to this. Like, people want to say, oh, MBG, don't you understand? These are businesses. These are companies. They're out for the money. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I'm sorry if I act like I'm entitled here, but I kind of can't help it because, again, as somebody who's been gaming for a long time, I just kind of appreciate the standard that has been here and I think should remain here. And the fact that it's threatened because these companies like Microsoft, Google, and even Sony are now attempting to chase a market that I don't care about. I don't want this market to be involved with these companies. Mobile gaming is the best comparison I can give here, because the whole idea of cloud gaming is convenience. That's the whole point. And the reason why you have to focus on that is because, well, when you think about the gaming industry as a whole, what's the most convenient way for people to play games? People who just pull their phones out of their pockets and do mobile gaming. And then when you look at the mobile gaming market, it is 110% trash and garbage. Okay, that's just what it is. And there's a reason for that. It's because there's no standard, because the standard, there is none. It's non-existent. It's for the lowest common denominator. It's for people who don't care about gaming, who don't care about the gaming industry, and they do not care. And they're willing to just, pop out their phone and play some trash game with microtransactions and support it because it's just easy and it's just convenient and it is what it is, and they just don't care. And you know what? Believe it or not, whether anybody wants to accept this is the market. That is the market that these companies like Google, Microsoft, and even Sony are trying to get in the door. And I don't want that. I don't want that, because once that happens, once these people who just don't care, once they become the majority and they just kind of throw their money at this because it's convenient and it's what's easiest, not only are they sending the message to these companies that, hey, we just don't need consumer rights. We don't need to actually own anything. It's okay. It's fine, it's whatever, it's easiest, right? But once they start profiting off of these people, we're gonna take the back seat. We have seen this happen before. And that's the point. We have seen this happen before, and it will happen again if we don't actually send the message to these companies. Now, the thing is, a lot of you, at least a lot of the people who watch my channel, agree with me on this, that, you know what, cloud gaming, forget it. Forget it. If that's the only option one day, or that's how most people are gaming, I'm probably just not going to be gaming at that point, because I don't want anything to do with it. I mean, why? Why? That's the thing. Like, if you actually care about the act of playing video games, like real games here, right? Why would you choose to play them like this? Why would you do that? You're just limiting yourself. Sure, you saved some money, but come on. Come on, this is where I'm saying the standard will be lowered. If you're not willing to pay for quality, to pay for what's good, then these companies are just going to start to be okay with not caring about that, because you're not willing to pay for it. I just don't want to see this, man. And I'm so tired of people trying to tell me that this is the future. We're not there yet. Stop trying to tell me what the future is, because we're not there yet, and you have no idea when or if we're going to get there. You're just making an assumption. You're just assuming. You're assuming because all of these big companies are throwing money at this that it's going to be successful. And I hate to break it to you and these companies, it might not be. In fact, this might just blow up in their faces. They might realize this isn't going to work. The market just doesn't want this. They're not going to accept this. It's not profitable for us. Whatever it is. Again, I've said before, I don't care. If they want to keep it as an option, that's fine. But I have a real issue with these companies making it seem like this is their heavy pursuit going into next generation. And I see companies like Microsoft and Sony suddenly getting scared because Google's here. I don't care. Like, who, really, somebody, please tell me who in God's name is sitting here being like, you know what, forget Xbox, forget PlayStation, Nintendo, get out of here. Come on in, Google Stadia. Like, who? I really need to know who that person is, because it's probably one person. I promise you. It's like probably 10 people max. Okay? And these companies are acting like all scared because it's like, oh no, we need to reach the wider market before Google does. And this, it's like, you know what? Please stop. I just don't want that. Now, I may be entitled, but hey, that's just what I'm going to be like, because you know what? I'm a gamer. I care about the industry. I care about the standard. I care about the quality, and I don't want to see it go away because these companies are chasing and trying to pander to the lowest common denominator, the people who don't care. They're trying to get people in the door that just don't care about what gaming is. They just don't, and that's the point. Because if they did care, they would already be here. If they did care, they would be playing the amazing games that have been coming out, that have come out in the past, that will be coming out in the future. There's a reason why they're not here. It's because they don't care. And they're trying to make them care by saying, hey, all you have to do is pay a $10 a month subscription and you can play games. And it's just like, listen, I know that a lot of this sounds like doom and gloom, but I can't help it. Okay, I really can't, because there's just so much to lose, in my opinion. There's so much to lose with cloud gaming, with a digital-only future, and not really much to be gained. The only thing to be gained is a bigger market, and for me, that's not what I'm interested in. I don't care if more people are gaming than ever before. That's not what matters to me. What matters to me is we're getting the best games we've ever had than before. We are making progress towards, more pro-consumer approaches, which we are. I'm not trying to make it sound like we're not on that path to an extent, but believe me when I tell you, this is a threat. This is a threat to people who game like me and you, because I am telling you right now, just like I've said it before and I will say it again, there's a reason why Google is not releasing a console. It's because they firmly believe that this is the future. This is how people are going to be gaming. Soon everybody's going to be a cloud gamer. That's what they firmly believe. And it scares Sony and Microsoft enough that they partnered together. That's how scared they are. That's how much they see Google as a threat. But for me, Google isn't the threat per se. It's the change they're trying, it's the shift. It's the uprooting they're trying to do to the industry that is the threat to me. Now, I may sound like I'm wearing like some tinfoil hat or whatnot, but you know what? Believe me, what it really all comes down to is this. Will quality, for sure, will it deteriorate for the sake of convenience? Well, I can't say that for sure, because you know what? The thing is, I'm not ignorant enough to actually sit here and make it seem like I know exactly what's going to happen in the future. I'm just not. I'm not going to sit here and say I know, because I don't know. I can only assume. But I will assume that once the standard shifts, if the mobile market is anything to go by, how these people can profit in that market. There's companies making a killing in the mobile market off of garbage. And you know why it doesn't change? Because why would it? Why would they put more work and effort into trying to obtain a profit when they're already doing so while shoveling out crap? That is what's at stake here. Like, once these people start flooding through the doors, you think the microtransactions are bad now? You think these games as a service are bad now? You just wait. You just wait till the lowest common denominator starts flooding their way in. Once the person who's not willing to spend money on a console or a PC, once they are entered into this ecosystem that we care about, these ecosystems where we hold gaming somewhat kind of sacred, for lack of a better term, not to sound so dramatic about it, you wait. You watch. Watch what happens, because it's not going to be good. If you're really like a hardcore gamer and you actually care about the art and you care about quality, you watch what happens. Because I'm telling you, it's not going to go down the way you think it is, the way you want it to go down. It's just not. You continue to support cloud gaming. You think that's the future. You want that to be the future. You're just trying to progress with the times. Well, you know what? I hate to break it to you, but all you're really doing is giving complete control to the corporations. The corporations who the only thing they care about are shareholders. And the only thing the shareholders care about is profit. Profit. They do not care about quality. They do not care about the products. They do not care about anything other than making sure that they are making as much money as humanly possible. There's a reason why these companies are going after this market. It's because the shareholders want them to. It's because growth, it needs to just always be there. It can't ever just be good enough. There just needs to be more for these shareholders. And these shareholders, again, they don't care what the market standard is. They just want profit. They just want profit, and they're going to try to get as many people through the door as they can to make as much profit as they can with as little effort as possible. That's just how it is. These corporations, they're not stupid. They pry on human nature, and human nature says people are lazy. People want what's most convenient. And unfortunately, when it comes to most people, most sheep, as I like to call them, they will give up whatever they need to give up for the sake of convenience, no matter how important they should see it, and they should view it, and they should cherish it, they will give it up for the sake of convenience. And that's not what I want the future of gaming to be. I don't want the Netflix of gaming. I don't. People always say that, oh, that's where we're headed. Eventually, it's just going to be like Spotify. It's going to be like Netflix. You know what? Keep it. Keep it. I care about games more than that. I care about gaming more than to see it turn into that. Because you know what? There's a fundamental difference between playing a video game and listening to a song, between playing a video game and watching a show or a movie. There is a fundamental difference. And cloud gaming, in my opinion, is something that will ruin it. So that's my stance. It's going to be my continued stance. And anytime we hear about this, I'm going to fight against it. I'm going to push back against it. And you're going to have these people, you're going to have these morons who want to sit here and go up to bat for these corporations, like these corporations are their friend. And it's sad. It's really, really sad, because these people are so in their own head, like they don't realize, like, these are money hungry companies that view you as a dollar sign. Okay? And if you can't see that, then man, they got you right where they want you. And they thank you. They thank you. They really do. And they just want everybody to be just like you, because if everybody was like you and everybody was like that, well, then these companies would dictate the future, just like they're trying to do now, right? Kind of says something, doesn't it? That does it for the video, guys. Rant over. I hate Google Stadia. I hope it fails. PlayStation Now? Screw it. I don't want it. Get it out of here. I don't care. xCloud? Keep it. If I just could do a Thanos finger snap and just remove the idea of just cloud gaming, like just from existence, and mobile gaming with it, I'd celebrate. I'd be happy, because that's the way I think it should be. Now, again, do I sound entitled and selfish and like the world should revolve around me? Of course I do, but I can't help it. I care about the gaming industry. I care about the quality of games. I care about the art form itself. And in my opinion, with the direction the industry's been going in lately, you know, we look at what happens with games as a service. We look at what happens with microtransactions and these companies just pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing and just seeing how far they can push, how much money they can wring out of you. It's just hard to see this as a good thing. It really is. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. Leave the video a like if you enjoyed the rant or you agree with what I have to say. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you're new, hit the bell notification icon, and share the video out. But until next time, guys, take care.